Artistry of Mr. John Mentis. The words and voice of Mr. Mike Neun. And ladies and gentlemen, South America.
Space, the final frontier. This is the log of the cruise ship Royal Viking Sun, boldly going where quite a few people have gone before, but not many in such elegance. In all the universe, only a few can say they made this voyage. 53 days around South America, 34 days at sea, 19 ports, and hundreds of memories. Let's go then to Earth, the water planet, and review that historic voyage. There are many reasons to travel: relaxation, exploration, food, a thirst for knowledge, a chance to get away from the cares of day-to-day living, a chance to get away from taxes and bills. Travel can be a relief or an adventure. A trip around South America is more of the latter, a chance to circumnavigate an entire continent, a chance to live 53 days on one of the most beautiful ships ever built. And who better to lead us than our own Captain Holly Thong Gunderson? Managed to get through over 40 cocktail parties, shake hundreds of hands, and still keep his wits about him. In the tradition of Norwegian seafarers everywhere, he was a true professional. Our trip began and will end with the symbol of freedom known to people around the world. Began in New York, an adventure in itself. The city where people from the ends of the earth come together and end up driving taxis. The city of countless wonders and excitement. In Central Park, I saw some people feeding the ducks and one man throwing bagels at them. Obviously a disgruntled baker. From New York, we went to ports like Cozumel with its beaches and underwater beauty and overwater beauty. Most of the crew missed that as they explored the beauty of the margaritas at Carlos and Charlie's. And then to the Panama Canal, one of the world's greatest undertakings, ranking up there with the pyramids and the Great Wall of China. We heard the story of the canal and sailed through a man-made connection between the seas. We heard the sounds of the engines drowned out by the sounds of cameras clicking as we rose and fell in the locks. We marveled at the last great project to be brought in on time and on budget. Then on to Lima, another city of adventure, especially if you're wearing expensive jewelry. The jumping off place to the wonders of Machu Picchu. We crossed the equator twice. Both times were marked by the stately ceremony of King Neptune. The captain was initiated into the joy of the effect of a uniform upon women. And polywogs were initiated into the mysteries of the deep. Later on, deckhands were initiated into the mysteries of how to clean weird, slimy stuff out of the pool. We were entertained from talent from around the world. Every night a new show, as each port seemed to bring new entertainers. We had jugglers, we had singers, great musicians, dancers, weird people, more singers, and world-famous classical artists with world-famous backup groups. Some tried to walk around South America. What do you do these days at sea? People on shore wonder that. Actually, sometimes there doesn't seem to be enough time to fit in all the lectures, sports, and activities. This boy found a new form of aerobics, dadder-size. The Scald was filled with events, and you could pick your favorites. All that activity can wear a person out. Luckily, there was food. The buffets, morning, noon, and night, with our cheerful crew, where one learned a dinner plate has no limitations, and the scales in the health clubs are hopelessly out of whack. And after the food, there was time to lie in the sun, relax from the stress of trivial pursuit and quoits. Then time for more food. Luckily, the pool bar was open for those who got peckish between meals. And more activities. Fortunes were won at bingo, sometimes as much as $20 or $30 at a whack. And then there was more time for ourselves. More time in the sun, and more rest. We saw wonderful sights, the world-renowned wood chips of Portamont. At the tip of South America, we saw spectacular scenery. We learned more about nature from our host, Jean-Michel Cousteau. We sailed past enormous blue-green glaciers. We sailed around the Horn, famous for its storms, tossing ships around like ping-pong balls. Luckily, this ship caught some decent weather and a wonderful view. And we sailed north to the Falkland Islands, where we took our limousines to a special formal event. A 5-star beach party with our host, the King of Penguins. And we caught some of the weather we thought we'd left behind at the Horn. And here come the guests of honor. Through it all, our staff always kept their dignity, never stooping to cheap props to keep us entertained. Each day, the morning show introduced us to the personalities on the ships. Guests, lecturers, entertainers, never resorting to cheap props to keep us entertained. The interviews brought us closer to the people we saw on stage and behind the lectern. Throughout our trip, the dive team brought scenes from the ocean depths up to the Norway Lounge, a new feature for Royal Viking, and one that allowed us to see a whole new world under the sea. And then to Argentina, land of the gauchos. And then back to the ship, land of Texas line dancing. Land of fabulous prizes in the midnight sun. Some people had to buy extra luggage just for the bookmarks. Did we mention food? Our staff in the dining room and the buffets kept us well supplied. During this cruise, we consumed 513 gallons of vanilla ice cream, 165 tins of Russian caviar, and 201 bottles of ketchup. It all came from the galley, where our chefs created a huge variety of meals, including the Golden Door menu, which was really fun to look at before you ordered the prime rib and chocolate souffle. We consumed 564 tins of sardines, 60 pounds of octopus. And through it all, our captain and Jean-Michel worked to make this cruise memorable. And the staff and passengers worked to make sure it was happy. All the while, the activities continued. Crafts and sports competed for our attention, and a smiling face was never far away. But the guy hauling his son around in the pool was beginning to wear down. Our concierge and reception staff kept smiling for 53 days, and it was easy because nobody ever complained. Our stewardesses greeted us in the morning and evenings, keeping our rooms shipshape. It will be difficult to go home and realize the toilet tissue won't be folded into that little triangle every morning. Through it all, the beauty salon revived wind-blown hair and faces. There was a language barrier up there because they insisted on speaking English. When you got tired of buying t-shirts and port, you could always go to the gift shop. So much to buy, so little time. And if you had any money left, there was a casino, investment opportunities galore, and a host of systems bit the dust in the face of numerical reality. Did we mention the food? And the drink. Champagne, fine wines. In the bars, we consumed 840 liters of vodka. The beer favorite was Beck's, with 1,584 bottles consumed. Budweiser finished second with 1,074. Buenos Aires was probably the most cosmopolitan stop. Beautiful avenues, wide vistas. We brought Argentina on board with the tango show. We saw the city of the dead. In the United States, that's known as Tacoma, Washington. Rio could be the most spectacular city in the world. Corcovado, beautiful beaches, Sugarloaf, and thousands of demure, modestly dressed people on the beach. Never have so many worn so little. Meanwhile, back on the ship, activity continued. If idle hands are the devil's playground, if idle hands are the devil's playground, this cruise was a bastion of morality. People are the heart and soul of a cruise, and ours seem to be fairly cheerful. Looks like where some of that Beck's beer went. Who can forget the Nairobi Trio and all its permutations? The 5:30 for Live show, a giant step in Kitty Carlisle's career. And Doug's. We'd like to thank the people who added to this cruise: Jean-Michel Cousteau, Kitty Carlisle. Now some snapshots of people who worked to make this cruise so memorable. Jean Ann Ryan, singers and dancers. Ever cheerful. Our social hosts. The ladies in the fitness center. Our stage team. And our band. Our harpist, and spell players. I don't know who that is. And our lecturers. Our cruise consultant and our shore excursion team. Our DVR, our hotel director, assistant cruise director, Les, Judy the bookmark queen, Doug, ever studious, and finally farewell to our captain, Holly Foam Gunderson. And to our ship, the Royal Viking Sun. It's a wonderful ship, and we hope you all come back again sometime soon. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Neun and John Mentis. And also a very special thank you to Michael Hannahan from Passage International for making his way around the vessel to capture some extra footage. And a very, very special thank you to Mr. Jeff Rathmel, who has been working day and night for the past week to put this together for us. And one other note about our video that we've just seen. There's so much that goes into making a cruise a success such as this has been for us. And we didn't intentionally leave anybody out. It was just a matter